can hear they're all in tune. So we need to detune them. Now that they're all loose, the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want anything shooting up into my eyes. Just wire cutters. Another little tool specifically to pull out the pins. I don't think they're suited for this guitar, these pins. I think that the pins should be gold or silver. Because it's a great looking guitar. And I just think that these pins are not nice looking.
So I'm going to put in my own pins. I bought my own pins. Gold pins. That's what I bought. So what I'm doing right now is just pulling out the pins. I'm pulling out the...
So now I'm just going to unwind them. They should just pull out actually now then. So that's it, that's all the strings out. We've got a string free guitar, and at this bit we could use the opportunity to clean her, because you never really get a chance to clean your frets, do you? It's not something that we get a chance to do very often whilst playing. So that's that bit done. Now it's putting in the new strings. There's no really right or wrong way out of all the videos that I've watched on YouTube about changing your strings. There is, for a million different videos, there's a million different variations and combinations. So the main bit really is getting the string wrapped around correctly to start off with, otherwise it will just pull out over time. So that ball end there, there's two ends to your string. That's the thin end that feeds through up this top part. I know there's a technical name for this, head twisty turny thing there, okay? That was in the twisty thing at the top. This ball end goes in there. There's some videos that I've seen that just put that straight in with the pin in and hold it in tight, pushing it in. Most others, however, bend. They do the length of the pin and then they bend it so it's bent. and then that bent end goes in. Again, I've seen different ways of doing this. This is my 4th time of putting strings in my 10 weeks of playing the guitar. And I've tried different ways. There's a groove in that pin, as there is in all pins, I'd imagine, especially the pins I've used. There's a groove in it, and that groove obviously fits the string. But if I push that all the way down, and that fits into a little groove in there, it does pop up a little as you pushed it down, it pops up a little. However, this is the important bit now. So that's fed in. There's a bit of slack in there, and what I've done with my last one, what I found is I'm pulling a little bit back. How much you pull back, I don't know, guesswork really. There's just some slack in it. Then I've actually forgot what I did. Oh, that's right, that's what I did. I pulled it back enough and then fed which way is it twisted now? That's wrong way. Twisting it that. Just making sure that this top part goes over. And as you can see, I've just dropped my winder. The string's come undone. It's not done as it should have done. So I think at this point there needs to be some comical music, doesn't there? Because I'm making a hash of this. Now I'm not entirely certain whether that's correct. Maybe I should have Googled this first. However, I have done this 3 times before, and I've tried 3 different ways. And the last way I did it, I liked, and that's not right either. I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing this very, very wrong. I can't remember how I bloody well did it now. I've got to find a really good way of doing this. And then where does it go? And then it goes underneath. That's right. It goes over the top and then underneath. The main thing is that actually looks a mess. So the first I don't like that at all. What have I done there? That's ridiculous. Oh dear, this is all. I'm going to unwind it and figure out why it looks pants. See, it does look. Aha! This is what I remember from last time. Darn it. Ow. Just whipped myself. Then it goes underneath. When I first did this, the first time I changed strings, I'd had my guitar 3 days and I changed the strings and I was tightening it up like this and I snapped it. I took it past the tone. So if you look at the videos on YouTube of the professional guitarists changing strings, by the time, or in the time it's took me to do 1 string, they'd have done like 6 guitars by now. I am still trying to tweak my way of putting this bit here is the important bit, because this has to work. If it doesn't work, once you've cut this end off and you're playing and it's not wrapped around the peg correctly, the tuning peg correctly, but if it's not wrapped around that correctly, then it's just going to pop. And if you've not done it correctly, you'll not have enough string to do it again because it'll just keep coming out. So that's got to be very important. All of the bits that come before it, and then you feed it through like feeding a needle. So I'm going to pull that through. Why does that do that? I've done it wrong again. How have I done it wrong? I don't understand why I've done it wrong. Twisting, doing that wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Stop there. So I twisted inwards. When I bought this guitar brand new, these pins, the groove in these pins were facing in the wrong way. As in, the person that did this, the original person that put these in, when I bought it, I just tightened it up without keeping these in line. I don't know whether it's overly important that they've got to be exact, the grooves in the pin facing down the neck. It just looks better. And you'd think that it would be taught. It would be. What the? Aye, aye. Well, that noise is new. Well, that pin's bloody out. I don't know why that is. G. Okay, I've done something wrong because this pin's just popping out, and like I said, I've changed strings 3 times before, and this is the first time I've come across this where the pin is pulling itself out, and I don't understand why it's doing that. Because at some point it should just, it pulls on itself, like, you know, it pulls itself tight. And I don't understand why it's doing what it's doing. Okay, so I must have done the E string wrong. I don't understand, at the minute, I don't understand why the pin is wanting to pull itself out when it shouldn't do. So I've just learned something. And that is not wanting to come out. Oh, I think we found a winner. In fact, I didn't. This method that I've just done with a pin, pulling it tight against itself, I didn't use that method on the other times. The 3 times that I've done this before this occasion, I've tried different ideas. Each time has been different. It looks like the method I've just used seems to be working, because I'm actually pushing the string in. Once I've put the pin in and I've got the string feeding down the groove of the pin, I'm then pushing it further down. I don't know why. Why am I pushing it further down? Why do I think I need to push that further down? That's not moved at all. So that does work. This is another string that I've snapped on my first occasion, the G string. Right, there's a technique to twisting these pegs. Because what I have heard one fella say is that he puts his string in and then he leaves them for a while. He says to bed in. And I don't really see a reason why that should happen. And that bend was in a different place, and it's not made a difference, as long as there's a bend in it, I guess. What if I didn't put a bend in? I don't know whether that bend makes a difference whatsoever. I don't understand why it should make a difference, because once you put that pin in and shoved the string down, the bend should occur naturally anyway. And with the force of the string coming over the bridge, and then it hits the pin, and then it's a 90 degrees anyway. So that bend should find its own place naturally, shouldn't it? Okay, then let's work on that theory. So I'm not gonna, there's no bend. Why should that be still popping out? That's clearly over the top. Okay, in conclusion, I've not put a kink in the B string. It's found its own kink, which it should do. And the kink that it finds is exact. The kinks that I'm putting in, or that I did put in the earlier strings, they're not exact. It finds its own place, doesn't it? It finds its own position as it beds in, as it pulls tight. So then there's no reason to bend. So why are they bending? Why is most of them bending that string to put it in? I don't understand why they should bend it when it finds its own bend, because if they are bending it and you're pulling it tight, as soon as it becomes tight, it finds its own bend. So theoretically, there'll be two bends in, won't there? That says that's bang on. It doesn't sound bang on. There's no way it's that bang on. That's never a D3. That's never a D3. Okay, anyway, I'm going to end the video there. I think this is pants. So I do need, well, having said that, I generally use the chromatic tuner that I've got as an app on my phone, but I can't do anything right now. Anyway, there you go. How to change strings on your guitar.